Hello, my name is Terrelljones, founder of Productive Academy LLC. And let me ask you this question. Have you ever found yourself in a place to where you're building a team? It may be at your job, or maybe in your business, or maybe your family. And you're not comfortable or confident in the fact that everybody's not on the same page. You're not moved to making the type of forward motion or forward progress that you want, and you want to be able to be everybody to be moving in a unit. You want everybody to be moving at the same pace, working together, but you're not seeing that. So, and this could be a team, or this could be one-on-one too. But if you're in a place to where you're not on the same wavelength of somebody else, and you're not coming together to get the type of end result that you want or the goal that you want to achieve, I want you to think about programming, and I don't want you to think about this in a negative way, because you could twist this and look at this as a negative way. But when I say programming somebody, I'm talking about programming them in a way to where it is a mutual benefit, right, to you both, into the overall either overall relationship or overall business or overall goal, whatever that is. Right, so program them. That's going to allow the whole situation to move to the next level. Because without that, then let's say, for example, if we're looking at a relationship, you might be in a place to where you're doing one thing, or you're thinking one thing, and then your wife or your husband is thinking the other thing, and then you're wondering why you having issues in a marriage, or you're doing one thing or thinking one thing, and then a business partner is thinking or doing another thing, and they're doing their own thing, and then you realize, what's the point of having so many issues, right? Or the same thing, well, you have a coaching program, right, or you're speaking to certain organizations on an ongoing basis, but you're coaching them on one thing, and but they're dropping out, or they're feeling discouraged, or whatever the case is. You got to be able to program people that's going to allow that mutual benefit and allow them to be able to grow and contribute to what the overall higher level purpose or the higher level mission is. And that's what we're really talking about today. So what does that really look like? Well, there's three things that I want you to think about when it comes to programming somebody, and it's going to be your programming too, in a good way, in order to accomplish whatever that higher purpose is. And the first things first, I want you to think about, what is the reason? Think about it. Like, what is the reason? So, for example, let's say my wife. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that we did within our marriage is the fact that we continually communicate to each other, and that we don't let all the outside voices come into our marriage, and all of these different opinions, all these different things come and poison the pond, so to speak, to where now we're having continuous and ongoing issues. So with that, it's we have to realize that once we're on the same page, then we understand that we're making it to that next level. But in order for us to do that, one of the things I realized is, okay, well, I have to program her, right? And like I said, it's not a negative, but we have to make sure that we're on the same program, and that's going to allow us to go to that next level, right? Like I want her to be on my program, right? So what did that look like? Well, that looked like me figuring out what's the reason I want to do that. Well, obviously I want us to be able to stay married for a long time. Not just stay married, but I want us to be able to have a fun and vibrant and successful marriage. I want it to be, I want us to feel so comfortable around each other, have so much fun, make sure it's so passionate, right? And for us to do that, that is something that I told myself that we got to continuously, on an ongoing basis, be able to communicate. Like, we got to be able to talk about that on an ongoing basis, and not just talk about it like what most couples do. The only time they ever talk about things like this is during an argument, right? And I'm not even saying here like I'm a relationship coach, but just from me learning and being throughout this marriage and being in a relationship, for years and years, going on 7 years, one of the things that I've learned is that we have to be in a place where we have the same programming, but I have to know what the reason is, and I got to be able to communicate that to them. So that's number one. Number two is, are you getting buy-in? That's number two. You got to get buy-in from your business partner, or from your spouse, or whoever the case is, because if you're trying to get them, quote unquote, on the same programming as you, and program them for the higher purpose. Well, if they don't see or if they don't agree with you what that higher purpose is, then at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to program to accomplish the goal because they don't care about the goal. So you have to get buy-in from them. So what does that mean? Well, let's say if you have a coaching program, right? And you want somebody that you're coaching to be able to get some kind of transformation in their relationship or their life or their business, and they don't feel like they're part of a process, or they don't feel like they have any buy-in to anything that's part of the process and what you're doing, then they're gonna get demotivated, and they're gonna feel like, why am I here? Why am I spending this money with you? Right? Or if you have somebody that's a part of a team, that's part of your business, but they don't get any say, they don't have any buy-in, why am I here? So you're not going to have any influence on them. You're not even going to be able to program them to move to the next level, or program them to be able to build or grow the business, because they don't have any say in the process. So get that buy-in. So what does that look like? That looks like asking questions to see what they want. That looks like getting their feedback on certain things that you're doing. That looks like giving them certain tasks in order to run with in regards to the project. And the more that they do those things, the more they're going to have buy-in. And that buy-in is going to be super huge, right? So it wasn't me in my marriage telling my wife, like, oh, look, this is what we're going to do. This is our mission. This is our goal. This is what we want. This is what we have. This is what I want us to do. And let's go. No, it was, okay, look, I think this is great. What do you think about that? Okay, you want that goal? Oh, wow, you want that goal too? I didn't even think about that goal in the marriage. Right? Or I didn't even think about that goal in the business, right? Like, it sounds simple. It sounds a little bit simple. But my question is just because it's common sense don't mean that it's common action. And we got to make sure that we're on the same page in that regards. All right, so that's the buy-in. Number 3, which is super critical. I need you to have consistency. One of the biggest issues that when it comes to programming people, they think that or being on the same program, they think that they can do it one time and that's it. Well, that's a problem, because people forget. People continuously need to be reaffirmed, and they need to continuously get the confidence and courage about things, and and it happens to everything, right? We're confident about something one minute, and then the next minute we're not. It's okay, but we got to constantly be able to continuously program and instill that knowledge. And let's say if you got a coaching program or a group where you're speaking to people, it's not just speaking to them one time. It's constant encouragement. It's constant help. And one of the craziest parts is, Jordan Belfort. I've been following. I watch some of his stuff online, and I love one of the things that he said is, one of the things that I realized really helped people, for the positives, the side of, when he was, helping people become millionaires and do everything at Stratton, is that every morning he would motivate them. And he knew that they needed it because they would be on the phone all day and they'd be getting rejections and all these different type of things. So he knew that he would have to motivate them every single day to get them to go out there and be their best selves. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I want you to think about is if you have a marriage, don't just think you're going to tell her I love you one time and it's going to work. You need to tell her that every day, or you need to tell her that all the time. If you have a business, don't think you're just going to talk to the employees one time about something. It's going to be an ongoing process. So if you have a coaching program, when you're speaking to people, you're going to have to be able to repeatedly say things, or repeatedly help them or motivate them to go to that next level, because that is what is going to allow them to boom, break through, baby. So that's it. So those are the 3 things. Those are the 3 things that I really from my lessons that I've learned, that is that's really going to allow you to quote unquote program somebody to get them on the same page so you can accomplish the higher mission or the higher purpose. Okay, because you need to make sure that you have a reason for doing it, so you're clear when you're communicating. 2, you got to get their buy-in. It's not just what you want. You don't need all that control. You want to give some of that control to them so they can take ownership of it, and then that's when they're going to get that buy-in. And then number 3, you're not going to just do it once. Over and over, continuously, you're going to do it, and then it's going to become more of a habit for them. They're going to have more attachment. They're going to feel it's going to become part of their values and their principles. And once it becomes part of that, boom, they'll take it and they'll run with it. And then now, not only do they have it, they're able to teach it to others.